Hello, my name is Justin Adams, and welcome to Jay's Days. American Hero is written and directed by a guy named Nick Love, also starring Stephen Dorff and Eddie Griffin. This movie is about Melvin, played by Stephen Dorff, a guy who is an alcoholic, a drug abuser, but he also has special abilities. He can levitate things with his mind and body. So, kinda think Hancock, but without that stupid plot twist. In the mix, he also wants to see his son. So he decides after going through cardiac arrest that he needs to make a change. So he decides that he is going to start fighting crime and using his powers for good. This movie is majorly disappointing. You know you've done something bad when you take an idea from a not good movie and you make it worse than that movie. Like, this movie made me want to rent Hancock and be like, okay, Will Smith, I'm giving you another chance, and I'm just going to look past the Charlize Theron part. Now, the major problem with this movie would have been good. I would have had this pass, like, majorly, if it didn't have this weird mockumentary style thing going on. Like, it didn't really make sense, and it didn't add on to the story, because no one really said anything about it. The only person that said something about it was Eddie Griffin. He was like, oh, so you guys want to do a documentary on him, and I guess that says it all. But it just seems like, with the way that they used it, it seems like the director accidentally had a camera on in the shot, and everyone was like, oh man, we have to reshoot, and he was like, no, I was planning on doing a mockumentary, you silly motherfuckers. Were any of you guys listening? It just didn't feel right with the movie. The same thing with the kid aspect. It just, both things were not elevating the story in any way. Like, the story that it was trying to tell was about a guy, a drug abuser, who also has superpowers, and he has, like, this heart attack, and he has to use his powers for good. And that's what I wanted to see, and we never get to see that. We see it for, like, a split second, and then we get some training, but we don't really get much of the superhero thing. We just see him levitate things with his hands. That's literally it. We do not see anything else. The rest is just him partying, fucking wanting to see his kid, him making fun of people, him hanging out with Eddie Griffin. It just, the movie doesn't, I feel like it doesn't really want to be a superhero movie, but framed itself to be a superhero movie. I understand if you want to do something original with the genre. You can do that. Kick-Ass has done it. There are many movies that have done that, but this movie decides to not focus on the superhero aspect, like, at all. Like, the only parts that they like focus on it is when he's moving things, and that gets really repetitive after a while. Like, the first time we see him levitate things, it's pretty cool. Like, the CGI in the movie, and I usually do not like CGI, but the CGI in this movie is pretty good. I actually like it, but, you know, towards the end, like I said, everything gets a little repetitive. You know, like, I love when a movie tries to do new things, but this movie does not try to do new things at all. It's doing everything by the book. It's a alcoholic who can't see his son. He wants to get his life together, but then he has a downfall. It's just everything. I predicted everything that was going to happen. You know, the only thing that was missing was a love interest. That was literally the only thing. I feel like that's like the only thing the writer and director was like, I'm not going to do that, but everything else I shall do. Another thing that kind of bothers me about this movie is that they have Stephen Dorff playing this guy who I think that they want him to be, like, in his early 20s, it seems like, since his mom is, like, super young looking and his sister is, like, looks like she's still in high school. But it's played by a guy who is in his early 40s. I think that's a little weird, and it was very odd. I'm not really sure if they wanted him to be like that dude that just is a stay-home guy and he's just a slacker. Like, that would be fine, but the mom should have been older then, because the mom, whenever him and the mom were hugging or anything like that, I was expecting, like, a kiss, because I didn't feel like they were mom and son. I felt like that they were, like, supposed to be together. That's weird to say. Easily the best things about this movie are the chemistry between Stephen Dorff and Eddie Griffin, and the special effects. Everything else just falls flat. Just nothing. There is not a villain. Like, they try to, like, aim at a villain. Like, they're just saying, hey, this section, all these guys are villains. Another thing that I really liked was the final battle thing. It was what we wanted from this movie, at least what I wanted from this movie. I didn't want to see him, like, seeing him go through all these personal problems is fine. It would have been fine. I think I would have appreciated it more if they didn't have this mockumentary style. It confuses that side of the story. Like, whenever the movie's trying to get serious, it's weird because now you're like, what are these mockumentary dudes doing? And whenever things get serious, like people are shooting at them, you're wondering why the fuck are these mockumentary dudes still shooting them when they should be running? Overall, guys, this movie is lacking everything I thought it was going to be from the trailer. I thought it was going to be witty, I thought it was going to be exciting, I thought it was going to be something original, and I thought it was going to be fucking hilarious and really, really good. And I thought Stephen Dorff was going to bring his all. And he does bring a really good performance. All the performances in this movie are fine, but it's just the writing and the direction that it took. I feel like it could have all have been so much better. But instead, just like a movie called A Glimpse Inside the Mind of Charles Swan III, the movie sucks, but the trailers are really, really good. I can appreciate when a good trailer is out. I really, really love it when a good trailer comes. And even when the movie's bad, when I watch the trailer, I'm like, oh man, I want to watch the movie again, because I feel like I might have overlooked it. But the good trailers can also be a downfall, because if it's a really, really good trailer, then you just watch the trailer and you kind of cry on the inside because you're like, I wish the movie was like this. Alright guys, that's what I thought about American Hero. What do you guys think about it? It is now available on VOD to rent, so you guys can get it yourselves and you guys can check it out and see if I am right or if I am wrong. But I suggest that you guys watch Hancock instead. And I don't even like Hancock, but I suggest that you watch that because it has more comedy, has more wit to it, and it has Jason Bateman. Anything is better if Jason Bateman is there. Alright guys, if you guys want, you can follow me on Twitter at I'mJust_420. If you guys want, you can guys, please remember to stay tuned. I have more guys, please remember to stay tuned. I have more reviews coming at you at your face.